Hey, Mark. Hey, Andrew. Give me 1 second, guys. Got people complaining about my flickering light in the background. I don't even notice it. No, I never fixed it. I just went and pulled the plug and turned it on. It's not a halogen light. It's an LED. So you can't replace the tube or anything like that. It is what it is. Started blinking a little while ago, and before I got the chance to take it down and replace it, I got used to it. And until someone mentioned it the other day, I didn't even really realize it was still flickering there. I don't even see it. Who we got? Oh, lots of people here already. Oh, good. That furnace is cut out. It's getting on my nerves there. Clarence, Ariel, Andrew, Jeff, Rick. Oh, what a crew. What a crew. Hope you guys all had a great week. It's been a great week here. Phenomenal week of production. Lots of stuff on the go. If you didn't know, I'm hearing a little sound like a chatter, and I heard it earlier too, but now that it's quiet, I'm wondering if I've got a bird in here in the building. Just 1 second, guys. 1 second. Not a bird. Kitty left. But I'd like to have another one. She didn't like it here. She was a very temperamental cat. She was a rescue cat. And man, she was crazy. And but she was a phenomenal hunter. As I'm told, those orange or ginger males are. Phenomenal hunter, but I'm also told that those ginger males are really crazy, odd temperaments and stuff. And she just didn't work out here in the shop. The first chance she got, she escaped. She wouldn't come back. Someone else ended up with her here. But so she's gone, or he's gone. No, was it a girl? I can't remember now. But there have been a couple little tiny voles here lately I've been seeing on the floor. And they're so tiny, right? And going around. And the cat, when she was here, would just leave them laying around for us whenever she'd pick one up. So that was fun. A lot of times you walk in the morning, she's just strategically laid them out right in front of your walking path. I don't know why cats do that. But I've been saying I'd like to have a cat or a pair of cats back here in the shop just for cleaning up stuff like that. We're out here in the woods. You know, we're not right in here in a city. We're out in the woods, and so you do have little critters and stuff around outside, and sometimes they manage to get in through doors or around and things like that. But I don't know what I was hearing just then. Thank you guys, by the way, all you. I can see the likes popping in. I really appreciate you hitting that like button. Lets YouTube know this is a stream worth watching. But yeah, I'd love to have a pair of cats, both for company. It would be just fun to have when you're working here. Cats are fun. They're low maintenance, but also just to clean up anything like that. Birds that get in the building, up in the ceiling, little rodents, things like that. Let me check here. I'm yammering on already. Hey, Scott, buddy, hope you had a good week. What are we working on tonight? I thought I'd just come on for a little bit, maybe not the whole hour tonight. We chat about, I'd show you some new stuff I'm working on here. The Mini Tradesman. If you aren't tuned in and if you aren't subscribed to my website mailing list, the brand new Mini Tradesman released today. And so they're up on the website. Several models. I believe we released five renditions, and 2 or 3 of them are already out of stock. There's a couple left in stock, but I've also set the website up. So as soon as they go out of stock, this is brand new. As soon as they go out of stock, it switches over to pre-order and gives you the option to pre-order. Because we've already got more in motion, so they shouldn't be a long time rolling out. It's just for right now, we're letting you know that these aren't, once these are ready to ship, and so they'll go out really quickly. But if you order an out of stock item, and this only applies to the Mini Tradesman, if you order an out of stock item and it's on pre-order, then it's not going to be shipped immediately. You've got a little bit of time. All the info is there on the page. But if you want to head to knknives.ca, you can check out, I can show you the Mini Tradesman. I'll show you the different ones here tonight. But live stream, of course, you can't pick up the high definition. You're not going to get the color, the sharpness, and all that. Then as you will on the pictures on the website. All those pictures are so crisp and vivid, right? So if you want to check them out, you can check that out, knknives.ca. If you want to place an order for a pre-order, one that's in stock, please do so. That would be great. That would be great. Hey, Brad. Michael's here. Mule Power. Rick, glad you like the tradesman, buddy. David, do you make kitchen knives? Yes, upon request, although I don't have a lineup of them per se that I keep on the website. I do make them on request. Brian, thanks for stopping in anyways, even if you can only be here a minute, buddy, even just to stop and say hello. I appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Hope you had a good week. Have a good evening. Mule Power Forge, yes, the 2 front pins, and here we get into the Mini Tradesman discussion. These 2 off-center pins is purely for aesthetic reasons. The pins being included in the first place is not merely for aesthetic reasons. It's for functional purposes, of course. But the 2 pair up near the spine is a design that I like. And if you just give me 1 second, I'll grab something to show you. When I first designed a pattern, you haven't seen it often, called the Rascal. And I designed this and built, this is my daughter's knife, my eldest daughter. I built this when she was just a wee little one. But it's when I first incorporated that 2-pin design near the spine. You see that? Right up here. That sounds as big as a cat or something. Just 1 second again. Just 1 second. That's driving me crazy. Whatever it is, it seems to have some sense of when I'm coming by. It sounds like it's just back right there. Interesting, interesting. That's the first time. I got to get a couple cats. That's the first time I incorporated that two pin near the spine, and that's sort of an homage to that. And I just like that look. And so we brought it in with the mini tradesman. Really cool. This is the one on the site that's black, yellow liner, brass hardware. Very, very handsome. I believe one of the models that's sold out. Ginger Cat Psycho Jimmy. That would have applied to this one, this ginger one that I had too. Cats are cool, Ariel. I never did like cats when I was younger, always a dog guy. But as I'm older, I've really come to love cats. They're so low maintenance. I just really like them. They're fun. And they're so incredible to watch how they move and how they hunt and act. And it's unbelievable what their bodies can do. Z Pappy, yep. I don't think I have any bake apples here in progress right now, but I might have a couple of those in Spectraply, that mountain camo, available up in the stock room. They just haven't made it to the website. If you want to shoot me an email, I'll just post it there in the comments, but it's Kyle at np-inc.ca. And that will allow you to contact me, and we can sort out. I'll that way I can remember. We can check. I can check to see if I have something here in stock. Michael, prototypes and all these new ones are going out, I would say, Monday. Everything that's sold so far should be going out Monday, and I've got a huge backlog of stuff to go out, which is really fun. The mini tradesman is what the 940 Osborne wants to be when it grows up. I wish I had my 940 here to compare. Overall, it's a little shorter than the 940. The 940 would be a little bit longer, but a lot more heft and rigidity, of course, in that fixed blade. A little more depth. It's just a winning piece. I absolutely love it. Scott Hayward, time to get a shop cat? Absolutely. Hey, Rocco. Oh, I can't wait to get that set put together for you there, buddy. A two knife set, the mini and the full size with a double carry, like a piggyback style sheath, for them to go together. A lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. By the way, speaking of sheath work, and my stitching machine is working out phenomenally. I talked about it. I've been working here today in the shop by myself. Dad's on the road. And so I got to film and just chat kind of with the camera. So you'll see that content probably coming next week. But I talked a little bit about the stitching machine, and it has been a steep learning curve. It's been difficult. I've spoiled some sheaths with it. I've had to stitch some sheaths as much as 3 times. And by that point, I think I just threw the sheath out. But, get almost to the end and the machine busts a thread or binds or this type of thing. So there's a lot of right on, Scott, buddy. Mr. Stapleton, I appreciate you stopping in to say hello. But that machine is a challenge. Just dialing the settings and figuring out how to start and what is the best system for the thickness of my sheaths, because you're not stitching 1/8-inch belt leather. You're stitching 3/8 to 1/2 inch of leather by the time you're punching through the welt, which the machine can do no problem. But getting your tensions and everything just right, it's a bunch going on. It's a bunch going on, and I'm finally getting it dialed in. Hey, Tavis. Chad, I'd love to talk about that stitcher. It is an amazing piece of equipment to have here in the shop. but definitely a learning curve. And when the time comes, if I decide to train someone on that machine, it's going to be all over again. I'll have the machine will be set up, but there's just a lot of like little things to remember when you're running it. And the machine is set up, it's timed almost like an engine, so that if you do something out of order, your day is done. It's out of time, it's binding, it's jamming. You got to start pulling stuff apart, pulling out parts to get the thread out that is wedged in place. It's really, really beautiful, but it's a bit of a challenge to use and a little bit high stakes. Let's have a look. The green sheath, you guys like the green sheath? That's something we decided here last minute. Dad and I were finishing up some leather work for the mini tradesmen. I said, you know what? I think we should do some colored leather. I haven't done colored leather, like themed colored leather, for a while. And so that's what we did. We have this beautiful like royal navy blue for this is the blacked out. This is the blacked out one with the navy liner. Hard to see, really washed out on the webcam. But again, if you head over to my website, knives.ca, you can take a look. But it's almost an identical color leather. Looks almost black on the thing. Almost identical color leather to the liner. So they just go perfect together. And then we have, this is the green sheath. Again, super washed out. If you go to the website, you'll be able to see, but super washed out, low contrast on the webcam there, but that's a secure fit. The mini tradesman, a little different from the prototype in the green, made a couple changes. The prototype had nickel hardware, did all blacked out hardware, and incorporated a fine black liner, as you can see there. I really love the green. I think the green is just a really, really cool rendition. And then in that like dark forest olivey green sheath, I think it's pretty sweet. Really, really cool. That green is pretty rich in person. Doesn't at all look like tacky or anything like that. It's just a really vivid, nice sharp green. And then with that black liner. Really cool. Of course, high vis, incredibly high vis. It's right on the border of what you would call, looking at it in person, like a zombie green. You know, that was all the rage for a while. There's the zombie green color. Right on the lines of that, if you're wondering how it looks in person. But the website will help you see it. Ariel, no hiding that green. No, sir. Just checking out the comments here, guys, if you're wondering. Can we call it Kawasaki green? You sure can. It's right on par there, too, with Kawasaki green, right in that ballpark. Steve, buddy, thanks for being here tonight. I'm looking forward to that one. Can you get that green for any of your knives? Yes, sir. Blaze orange will be nice as well. Would love to do a series in blaze orange. That's a color. Materials are getting crazy to find and acquire, guys. It's almost, I almost need to block out a section of every day just for materials hunting to make sure things stay in stock, because you get something in like this really cool green. Now, it hasn't happened with the green yet. You get some of this really cool green in. Oh, I think we'd like to try that. Looks awesome. So you get a few sheets and you play with it. You make a few knives. You really love it. And you go back and it's gone. No stock. Call up the company. Oh, we don't have any. Don't know when we're going to get some. You start hunting around. Eventually you find, okay, this site seems to have this supplier seems to have it. So you try for it. And it comes and it's not the same green, or they're low stock. You're going and buying restock stuff that I get all the time, and it's not available. I went today just to re-up another order of epoxy, a place that I've been buying epoxy for the last 18 months, 2 years. Getting low on epoxy. I'll run in and order a few bottles. Go in, they don't have it. I go to another site, they don't have it. You've got to find your sources all over again. When I first started as a knife maker, I sort of found my suppliers, and they were my suppliers. And I'd just go back to them, and I'd go back to them. And every time I'd just reorder my orange G10, I start to get low, go back and order. It is not like that in this market now. And it makes things a lot more just difficult. And you're having to find because one of the toughest parts when you start a business, and some of you guys will know, because I know some of you are welder and fabricators, and you're probably all the time reordering steel, getting in a new shipment of steel. But once you have all your suppliers, business gets a lot easier. You have all those connections, and you just go back to the same guys and support them. Not getting that now, which is kind of tough. It's tough to build relationships and keep them with suppliers. And it takes a lot more time for me to keep stuff in stock here. And if you can find it in stock, they'll only let you have a couple pieces, or it's just very strange, very strange. They might only have a couple pieces. It's never anymore, or not often, that they have orange in an almost unlimited supply where you can order 50 sheets and put on the shelf. No. I'm just venting now, or ranting. That's not your problem. Your problem is to save up for some beautiful K&N Knives products and watch that website for when the right thing comes along. You don't have to worry about all that back end stuff. Chad, thanks for mentioning the thumbs up, buddy. If everyone could hit that thumbs up, that'd be great. A Bake Apple XL in orange, that would be awesome. The blade length on the Bake Apple XL would be right about 3.5 inches long. Just like with the Bake Apple, it's a perfect handle blade ratio. It's 1:1 ratio. And the same thing. So we blew up the Bake Apple XL to 7 inches long. So it's a split down the middle, 3.5 and 3.5. Really cool. Just developing the sheath for that yesterday, actually. We built a couple different sheaths, drew a few different templates, built one of it, tried it, and not just the right fit. Built another one, tried it, so. And then we finished one up just at the end of the day yesterday, and I grabbed it this evening, and perfect. Just the right depth where I like a sheath to be, the right bite on the knife. Love it. Mule Power, don't have any trouble getting materials. Good. First, when I started out in knife making, I had a very, very basic supplier network. At this point now, it's a lot more substantial. There's a lot more offerings. I need a lot more materials. So where one time I was buying one sheet of G10, now you use that. You can use that in a day. You use 3 or 4 sheets in a day or more. If you're pushing through a batch like these mini tradesmans, you use up a bunch of sheets just in that one day when you're prepping those handles. So Ariel, I need some guitar time. Oh, that would be nice. Thank you for thinking of me. I'd love to sit back and have a little strum. I think I'll do that tonight when I go home. Go home with the wife. We'll watch a little TV or a movie or something on the couch. I just pick up my guitar and just practice lightly. Love it. Steve, don't get me started, man. Steve says the reason these supplies are hard to find is because guys like yourself inspire the rest of us to try our hand at the craft. That's a funny thing about doing what I do and recording it, is that, for a long time, my business was just knife sharpening. But the whole time I was building my knife sharpening business, I was online teaching people how to sharpen and saying, look, you can do this too. This is no problem. Just follow my instructions. So you're sort of shooting yourself in the foot as you're doing it. But it's a huge market out there, of course. And most people won't jump on the train to try it themselves because of Whatever reasons, lots of reasons. But Tavis, of all your designs, what's your personal favorite? By knife designs, you mean? Ooh, if you mean production models, of all my production models, they're just, forgive me for saying so, but they're just so many good ones. So many good ones. The Master Hunter, although I really don't like to build it, it is such a nice knife. And that knife was designed to be high performer. Tyler, buddy, thanks for stopping in. I'm glad you stopped in and said hello. Andrew. Yeah, the Master Hunter, I hate to build it, but just a phenomenal performer. When you hold it in hand, the way that it feels and the amount of blade and how thin it's ground is just incredible. I really love that knife. Is that my favorite? I'm not sure. I would need more time to think. That's an awfully big one. Beer Hunter, sounds like you need an employee to handle the material orders. The employee thing is a tough thing. I have the issue of wanting to have my hands in everything myself, which I know is definitely going to limit me and be the bottleneck of my business in time. So I'm working towards getting away from that, but I agree. I agree. Andrew, you too, buddy. Thanks for stopping and have a great weekend. Did I give any more thoughts to supplying mini finger lanyards with beads? Yes, I did. I was thinking about that just this week, actually, thinking, I got to jump on that and make a few samples, send out some pictures or send out a few to you guys to have a look at. But definitely never drop the idea. Absolutely intend to do that. Joe Bassett, off topic, but how's the ham radio stuff coming? Do you have your license? I dropped the ball on that. I paid for a course. I went through the course. It took a few months. It was like 3-hour sessions or something every once a week. And it was just too much at the time to prepare for the exam. I went through the course and it was fun, but I just could not get my head into it enough to prepare for the exam. And so I never did it because it takes someone else's time, because there's such a small network of people doing it. You know, you've got to speak with someone and say, listen, would you sit with me and proctor an exam? And, you're asking someone time, so you really want to be prepared. And I didn't feel like I could get there. Z Pappy, forgive me if you've already put out a production model, but any thoughts to doing a Nesmic pattern? I have a Nesmic pattern that is a production model, and I've built plenty of them over the years. It's sort of my rendition of the Nesmic, a little bit of a modern take. It's a heavy duty since 316 steel. I love the Nesmic pattern, and I love the model in particular that I make. Size, dimensions, everything I think is pretty spot on for a fantastic woods knife, but I don't make it often. It's not something you'll see stocked on the website regularly. I might do a small batch around Christmas. I might do a small batch midsummer, something like that, but it's not a model you see on the website all the time. By the way, my website is knknives.ca if you want to check it out. And today we released the brand new mini tradesman. Let's see if my hands are clean enough. We just looked at the green. Let's look at the white and green now. White G10, lime green hardware, forge finish. The light is so harsh that the white is totally washing out here, but I think this is a very cool look. Yes, the white is a little hard to keep perfectly clean, but it just looks so cool. It looks very, very cool. And against that black forge finish too, that white, oh, so rich. Just a beautiful modern look. Really, really nice. Have any other YouTube channels reached out to review your knives? I had a couple requests there recently. I've got a couple people lined up now to take on the mini tradesman for reviews. But YouTube channels as such, no, I don't think so. And I haven't reached out to any of them as well. Although I found a fellow today I'm going to reach out to. So you'll see soon. You'll see soon. Someone mentioned above that they saw a bake apple on someone's YouTube channel or on a YouTube video just this week. I don't know who said that now, but that's pretty cool. I haven't seen that. Right here, so we went from a super really modern and different look to old classic here. And the natural linen micarta with brass hardware, forge finish. What a classic beauty. Look at that. Just the right dimensions, just the right lines, in my opinion. You've got plenty of handle there to get, for me, I can get a really like loose 3-finger grip, but I can also squeeze that 4th finger on there, no problem as well. No problem. Really, really like the knife. This one seems to have gotten the most attention so far. This one sold out pretty much immediately. Erica's EDC, absolutely. Erica's one of those that I'm sending one of the new minis to. She has certainly earned it. She has earned it. She's been showing off some of my work, and I'm just proud of that. Always nice to hear her opinion. Jay Stealth, in time. I'm not exactly sure which versions yet, but I've got sort of a rollout plan, not a hard schedule yet, but at least a timeline, at least an order of how things will go for rolling out, like you said, more advanced steel. I like the way you said that. Advanced, at least in time and technology. Sorry, I got a little window up there. There we go. You love the Puko I made and would love to see that as a production model. The only thing you would add would be a finger guard. Is that the leather stacked Puko you're talking about, Rocco? That, if it is, that's one I made for myself. I don't have it here right now, but I love that knife. Really, really love. Okay, that is the one you're talking about. I don't do leather stack very often, but it's a beautiful way to build a knife. A lot of benefits. Of course, I do rebuild a lot of those. They come in here because leather is a live natural material, and over time it dries up and shrinks, and that nice plump, solid handle dries up and gets rickety on the tang and starts moving around, and it soaks up a little bit with if you're not keeping up with treating it and that type of thing. So it's not the perfect way to build a knife, but if taken care of properly and used properly, it's a lovely way to build a knife. And it just has so much traction and warmth in the hand, even on the coldest of days. It's a beautiful thing. Love a leather stack knife. It would be cool to do like a custom run of like 10, like a sort of a mini run, not a one-off, but a one-off batch of something, like a leather stack set like that, where I don't want that to be on the website available all the time, a normal production model, but to do, say, a batch of 10 that you guys could really jump on and take advantage of. I think that would be really, really fun. Scott, have you thought of making a folding knife? Absolutely. Someday in my spare time, I'm going to start developing that. Give me a second here, guys. I got my 1 second. Let me got my screen blown up weirdly. Okay, here we go. Got you back. I'm going to have to get like a little Bluetooth mouse or something, because there's so many things when the live stream is open and I'm scrolling the comments. A lot of times I'm opening windows and messing stuff up. Joe, okay, let me see. Beer Hunter says, oh, wait, no. BDC1, used it this year on our moose, worked a treat. Cheers and God bless. What did you use this year on your moose? I'd love to. I can't tell your name there by your YouTube handle. Beer Hunter says, reach out to Fun in the Woods with David Pearson. He's a wonderful outdoorsman, welder, and inventor. Let me just write his name down there. Sorry if I'm being rude, but there might be a chance for this guy to get some cool knives. Thank you for mentioning his name. Joe says, which model would you make if you could only make one for the rest of your life? Not your best seller necessarily, but which one do you really enjoy making? Ooh, no, that's a good question. I really love building the Bake Apple and the Tuckamore. Those are my two favorite to build. Michael just sent in $6 or $8 there. I'm not sure. YouTube probably takes a little portion of it. $7. Michael sent in money for cat food. Thank you, Michael. I do. I've got to get on that and get a cat here before rodent season comes in and we start getting squirrels around and shrews and mice and stuff. We don't see a lot here, but definitely worth having it. Thanks so much, Michael, for sending that in, buddy. Michael also last week or the week before sent in a payment for Dad and I. We had just gone on the road for a day or two, and we had gotten to spend some good time in the truck off getting supplies and running errands and stuff. And Michael sent in a payment to, and I believe his note was, this is for breakfast the next time you hit the road. That was really kind. Thanks, Michael, buddy. Very, very kind. Instead of cat food, I might put that towards the boat fund. I need to start mentioning a boat fund here in the live streams. Take up offering every week. The virtual collection plate to take up for my boat fund. That console build is getting pricey already. Just in raw materials is pricey, but then everything going along with it. And it's nice to have sponsors when you can get the right ones, but it's usually not worth a sponsor for all these little items. If I could only make one model, it would be the Bake Apple and or the Tuckamore. Love both of those. They're, I'll say, easy to grind. They have nice clean lines. There's nothing overly complex to get done. It's really nice. They're a great pattern, and the finished result never gets old. Never gets old. They're just a beautiful, both of them, classic lines, classic knife. Chad says, without a stamping machine and die making equipment, folders are very unpractical. Yes, 100%. You would need to be, for me to make a folder and be worth it, worth my time in the shop, it would have to be thousands of dollars. Rocco says, we'll have to add one to your list. Send you the cost and let's get at it. What one, Rocco? I've been yammering so much I forgot what we were talking about. You can shoot me an email about it. Anyways, you can shoot me an email about it, and we'll discuss. You got my email, don't you, buddy? Swiss Army knives, love them. Have a Victorinox climber there in the drawer right now that I carried for a long time. Really love them. I like the those Alox versions look wicked. Just the 2 blade, very basic ones. They're awesome. I see people with the collections of all the different colors. They're wicked, but the climber might be my favorite model, which was a gift from someone, I think, along the way. I can't quite remember now, but I love the climber model. I love the models that have the toothpick and the little tweezers. Little tweezers especially are so handy because working with metal a lot, working in a workshop a lot, splinters are so common and little gripes and things in your skin. So nice, that really cool to have those little tweezers around. They've saved me a number of times. Brenton, you're asking what part of Newfoundland do I live in? I'm over in Central, Bayvert Peninsula. Chad, that shop line is long gone, buddy. Michael, glad you, I appreciate you saying that, buddy. I appreciate you saying that about the content over the years. I got a couple nice emails from different people just today that were very much in that line, just encouraging me and thanking me for being there online over the years and producing some good quality content. I know how hard it is to find good, clean, family friendly content and that type of thing these days, and it's nice to be appreciated. I appreciate you saying that. If you had to buy out in a hurry and you could only take 2 knives, which 2 would they be? Oh, bug out, I think you meant to say there, Rocco, is it? If you had to bug out in a hurry and could only take 2 knives, which would they be? It depends on the situation, on the particular bug out situation. I'd have to say Warrior for starters, because the Warrior is an almost indestructible pattern. I just have one actually just finished up for my buddy John here. Beautiful, beautiful. Look at the requested leather work. Midnight black on stitching, copper hardware in a dangler setup, and then this is that white pearl Warrior. Hard to tell. Again, the white really washes out on the webcam there, but white pearl. But I think I would have a Warrior would have to be on my list because I know I just could not destroy this knife, and I could use this for chopping, batoning, cleaving, just any use I could think of, even to a degree digging, because it's such a big flat. It's such a big plate of steel, just phenomenal. Indestructible, basically, because of the dimensions of it. A big slab of steel. So that would have to be on my list. And then I'd want a smaller, finer companion that's a little safer to use. That might be the Tuckamore. I'd like to say Bake Apple because it's just such a handy little knife. You can really do small hand tasks, sharpening a peg, cutting twine, making feather sticks and this type of thing. It's such a small handy knife that you never ever feel clumsy with it. Your hand just sort of takes it in. It's kind of like the mini tradesman here. Your hand just sort of takes in the knife, so you never feel clumsy with it. Always feel like you got full control. And you'd want that if you were in that type of situation. Mini tradesman would also be a fantastic choice, although if it was bug out in terms of outdoor situation survival, I'd probably go with the Bay Cap over the mini tradesman because you have that big upswept blade. So that would be more beneficial if you were processing animals, that type of thing, small game. It would outperform something like the mini tradesman with more of a craftsman or a workman's tip. in this Warncliffe. Lots of options. I've got a real nice product list there now, model list, but okay, I see I'm missing out on some comments. Let me check without messing up my screen. Will we get a boat build video series? Absolutely. I've already got a bunch filmed. Oh, not a lot done, but a bunch filmed. And I'm debating when to start releasing it because I have plans for the series to become a Newfoundland hobbyist season come this next fall 2025. That's a television show that I was asked to produce back in 2018, if no one is familiar with that. And I did 6.5, 7 seasons, I think. And now it's been a couple of years since I've produced a season. And that's aired on 2 different public television networks. It's called the Newfoundland Hobbyist. It's really fun. I love it. It's brought a lot more local fame than the YouTube channel, even though the YouTube channel, of course, has a reach that TV can't even compare to. YouTube doesn't do a good job at marketing local unless you put a lot of time into marketing local yourself. And so YouTube hasn't brought a lot of local fame to Kay and Knives, but even just with community television, the Newfoundland Hobbyist program, anywhere I go almost in Newfoundland now, if I run to Grand Falls for the day or run to Bay Vert or even into St. John's, people come up to me occasionally in Canadian Tire or Walmart or Princess Auto, wherever, and they recognize me, not from YouTube, where I have quite a large following, but they've seen the television show. I find that really interesting, and it's just fun. Not that I have a desire for fame or anything like that, but it's nice to have that local market around you as well. It's a lot of fun. I actually got to speak at an event this past fall. It was a men's fish and game night or something like that it was called. It's a big men's event. There are like 100 men there, all geared around hunting and fishing, kind of like that. But a church several communities away puts off this night. It's quite popular, and I was asked to speak at it, which was really, really fun. But that opportunity came about because of the television show, The Newfoundland Hobbyist. That's kind of the umbrella under which they asked me, hey, we've seen the show. We would love to have you come and speak. That is, it's just fun. Newfoundland Hobbyist is fun, brings some cool opportunities. I always like the challenge of that higher production value you've got to offer. So the boat build series is coming. Absolutely. I've just got to decide when I want to start rolling the content. I think now soon, within the next week or two, I'll start throwing out content, almost vlog style for you guys to take in. And then you'll just follow along with me. And then I'm keeping all that footage on hard drives, just like I did with the truck build. And then this fall, I'll take all that footage, and you guys have already seen it kind of, laid out, unpolished, I'll say, vlog style. And I'll put it into these nice 30-minute episodes that are dense, and you get to see a lot happen in higher production value, better edits, more time on music, that sort of thing. And it'll be a polished set of episodes, right? So that's the plan. That's the plan. Rocco, the Puco. By the way, when I see your name like that, I can't. If you're wondering why I say Rocco, it's because I have a cousin. He's a bunch older than me, and they had a little Boston Terrier, and his name was Rocco. And the way he talks, that's how he would always say Rocco. And so me and my dad still, even though it's been years since we've seen this cousin, we occasionally will just sort of shout that name, right? Rocco, hey Rocco. Just sort of mimicking or not mocking. We love that cousin dearly, my dad's nephew, but that's why I can't not say Rocco. But it's the Puco you were asking about. Would love to build one, buddy. Chad, Yeah, Scott asks, what's the knife that has been getting the most pocket time for you? Chad says he bet it's the Spyderco Delica. Over the last year, it has been the Spyderco Dragonfly. But I'm about to switch to full-time EDCing the Mini Tradesman. How could I not? It's got all the goods, and it's a fixed blade, so I've got that extra heft, that extra meat, the rigidity that the Dragonfly can't provide. And I think that'll be a great way for me to really provide some self feedback on the Mini. Gerald, I'm glad you like all those restorations, buddy. Joe, I'm just trying to weed through some of your comments here. Joe, absolutely. Email me about that. I'm not familiar with it now, but maybe you've talked to me about it before. I don't quite remember, but feel free to email me about it. Absolutely. QSP Parrot. Yeah, I used to do a lot of EDC knife rotating. I have quite a few custom folders, or not custom folders, high-end folders, that type of thing. And but in recent years, they sit in the drawer. I don't switch them out a lot. Kind of stick with the one. It's just, but it's fun. It's a really fun hobby, that's for sure. Brad says his kids are always asking, "Can we watch one of Kyle's videos?" That's nice. That gives me all the fuzzies. That makes me feel great. I appreciate it. Ariel, you're okay, Joe. 2 years ago. Okay, yeah. Shoot me an email about it. Jog my memory. We can talk about it. Ariel, you're going to want another pocket sheath for your Mini. We can do it. We can do it. We actually built a bunch of pocket sheaths this week, pocket clip sheaths. And yeah, just it's fun. Gerald, now you're talking. Now you're talking. Let's put that together. That will be fun. Mr. Captain 93, you should have your dad come on a live stream. I don't think you're going to get my dad down here this time of night. Certainly not on a Friday night, I don't think. I don't know how he'd feel about it. I can mention it. I can mention it to him. Dad doesn't I don't think Dad wants any part of the limelight or to get on here in front of you guys, anything like that. He might be busy terrorizing the neighbors in his John Deere. We did a full engine swap on that John Deere here this fall. And then he's had some trouble with it and new parts, just getting it dialed back in. And now this past week, he did put on some more new parts, and I believe it's just better than ever right now. It's just phenomenal. He's pretty excited about it. Ariel agreed about pocket sheaths for the Mini. We could talk about that, and perhaps I'll talk about it on an upcoming live stream, but I agree entirely. The Mini Tradesman wants a pocket clip sheath. They're very cool sheaths. Gerald, can you bring your Puko to the show next week? Boy, I'll try to remember it. If you shoot me an email, I have a couple great pictures of that Puko. I see, Gerald, you're interested in the Puko. Rocco is interested in the Puko. Maybe we'll do a mini run. Maybe we'll do a mini run. Anyone else want to get in on it? We'll do a batch of like 5, and that will be fun. That will be fun. Kind of collaborate on on the finals of it. I think that would be cool. But I really, really like the Puko style knife in general. And that one that I built a few years ago to be my own knife, love it. She's worked through a few moose now. Plenty of spruce wood, birch. I'll write my email. Sure, Michael. Kyle at np-inc.ca. So if you look in the comments there now, you'll see my email. And then cayenneknives.ca is my website. But if you go to cayenneknives.ca, if you go check out my website, you go to the knife services page. There is a form there you can fill out that'll get you in contact with me as well. Gerald is pretty skillful. He's got life all figured out. A set of earrings for his wife. The extra cost smooths over the actual knife cost. I could see that. I appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. Again, I'll show the mini tradesman one last time. Oh, actually, I'll show something else that I finished up. I filmed this project today. Partly the first half I filmed months ago. You'll see the project this coming week. But let me just show you. You ready for this? You ready for this? This is a full heirloom hunting set ordered by a client. Just look at this. I am so proud of this. This was a challenging build for sure. This is a full custom knife. And the knife itself we showed on here a few weeks ago. Full custom hunter in sapel wood with that brass guard up front. On the wrong side of me for visual. Polished tang, polished everything, a matching Noseworthy Leatherworks belt, brass hardware, everything decked out brass hardware, and then a custom .3 caliber, removable, so you can put this on different belts or on a backpack sleeve or whatever. But this is an heirloom set here. All in matching leather, matching brass hardware. I'm just drooling over this set myself. I went out and filmed the end of the video outside, and I'm just showing it to the camera, and I'm just wiping my mouth here because this is just, it's special. It's special. I might have to take the time and make a set like this for myself. Maybe even a matching sling, but stunning piece. So happy and excited that a client would give me the opportunity to make this. I might not have otherwise, you know? It's kind of like that. Belt looks kind of small here now, but I've got it drawn all the way through itself. What do you think? You'll see a video of that coming up next week, but I just think that's absolutely premium. If any of you, I'm going to duck out here now, head home with my wife. If any of you have any questions for me, further questions that I'm not getting to here. Boy, I'm having trouble with this computer screen tonight. Every time I swipe, I zoom in the screen. If you have any questions that I've missed here on the side that you've asked, or something you didn't have the nerve to ask or didn't have the time to ask, shoot me an email. Kyle at np-inc.ca. N as in Noseworthy, P as in Productions, and Inc as in Incorporated. So it's INC. Kyle at np-inc.ca. You can get in touch with me for custom orders, ask questions, have a chat. Check out the website, cayenneknives.ca, for the new mini tradesman released today. I think you'll like that. And a lot of those will be going out on Monday. Thanks for hanging out with me. Viking, you like the beard? Is growing out a little bit more than usual lately. But that's because I've been loosening it up here. Holy cow, man! I've been I cut my own hair. I keep going shorter and shorter on the guard, so the top looks a little better. Sides keep getting shorter, so I'm making up for it, growing out the beard a little more, like a fine wine, like a fine wine. Thank you for sharing that piece of scripture, Rocco. Appreciate it, buddy. Everyone, take a look. Have a great weekend. Have a great Sabbath for those who haven't raced it yet. Do some fun stuff. Get in some rest. Make some money. Whatever you want to do this weekend, get it done. Again, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you probably Monday.